I'm Kylie. Don't miss it, right here.
Hi, I'm Chris Rogers from Rockin' Waves 11294, and you're watching WGS TV.
Welcome to another installment of WGS TV right here on youtube.com/WrestleGame. I'm Don V. Bonnie Boudreaux, being joined by a very special guest from OTR Radio, Chris Rogers. Chris, how you doing tonight?
How you doing, Billy? I'm doing great. How about you?
Guys, be sure you check them out, Chris Rogers and everybody out on OTR Media 1 on YouTube. That's youtube.com/OTR Media 1. And so we're going to take a look at Impact Wrestling for the week of April 5th, 2012. Now, we open up with Hulk Hogan taking charge and making matches already for Lockdown. Chris, I want to get your reaction first to the match made for Matt Morgan taking on Crimson inside the steel cage and Lockdown, and then the opening match, which we'll talk about following this, Jeff Hardy and Kurt Angle. What's your reactions?
Well, on the opening match, on the opening Hulk Hogan taking over, I kind of had a feeling that he would take over because, he just has that management style. You saw what he did with the NWO back in OCW. So
WCW.
WCW. What did I say?
OCW.
Oh, OC. Don't know how that came about. But Hulk Hogan, when he went to TNA, I had a feeling that he would take over at some point.
Well, let's go ahead and the opening segment, I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 5. I thought it was a really good segment, in my opinion. Crowd was really into it, and everything like that. And I'm glad he made some really good matches. And one of them we're going to talk about right now, which is the opening match. It's Jeff Hardy and Kurt Angle. Now, fans have really been wanting to see these two tangle up again since Victory Road, when Kurt Angle kind of screwed Jeff Hardy out of the match. But I want to say fan involvement was really key in this match. Now, Kurt Angle did get busted open in this match. I am not really too certain if it was intentional or not, because the actions that took place in the match, Hardy never really targeted the injury to Angle's head, which kind of makes me kind of believe that maybe it was unintentional, Chris. That, normally when you see that kind of a stuff, we don't see that too often anymore in professional wrestling, but normally when we see someone get bladed or cut open, we see the other guy go after that wound. But in this instance, we did not see that with Jeff Hardy and Kurt Angle.
That is surprising, because you always see it go after the wound. So, and plus, I'm telling you, I'm beginning to like TNA more and more. You get to see a lot of raw action. You get to see a lot of blood. WWE, they're like, someone gets a paper cut, and they're like, oh, we can't show that, censor that, so TNA, that opening match, very good match.
Yes.
Even though I didn't know that Angle went heel.
Yeah, the ending of the match, Kurt Angle decides to take the typical heel count out loss to Jeff Hardy. But in the back, Kurt Angle was confronted by Hulk Hogan and saying that, things are starting to change around Impact Wrestling, and he made the matchup for Lockdown inside the steel cage between Jeff Hardy and Kurt Angle. I'm going to give this score based on match content and the announcement after. Even though it was kind of predictable leading into it, they still executed it really, really well, in my opinion. It's going to be a 4 out of 5. 4 out of 5 from me. Go ahead, Chris.
I was just agreeing with you on the score.
Next up, we have Bully Ray and Austin Aries. Now, what I see coming out of this feud is, one, they're using this between Bully Ray and Austin Aries to, one, turn A-Double, the X Division champion, face, because the crowd is really starting to get into him now. They're really starting to really get behind Austin Aries. And two, we might have the possibility, and Chris, brace yourself when I say this, we might have the possibility of having Bully Ray as an X Division champion.
Whoa.
It's possible.
Damn.
Now, I'm really hoping with this feud, Chris, I don't know if you agree with me or not, but I'm really hoping that we can have a culmination of this feud, one, at Lockdown, and two, hopefully not involve the X Division Championship. But in all likelihood, from the way everything's being played out now, it's possible that the X Division title is going to be coming into the play with this feud between these two.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
But look at it this way. Brother Devon is the television champion. If they put the X Division title on Bully Ray as a result of this feud, that means both former members of Team 3D are now singles champions in TNA.
Wow.
I wonder if anybody ever thought about that. But as far as this segment goes, we saw, Austin Aries, basically come out and be a badass. He was tricking everybody into thinking that he was going to tell Bully Ray something. Then he smacked him on the head with the microphone and proceeded to beat him down until
Power bomb.
Yeah, to that power bomb, exactly.
Or pipe bomb. Pipe bomb, sorry.
Well, it was a power bomb from Bully Ray. Bully Ray power bombed Austin Aries, which stopped that momentum. So, good guess on your part, Chris. Well, as far as this segment goes, I was highly entertained, and like I said, good way to really build into this feud between these two. It's going to get a 4 out of 5 from me. Next up, Chris. Oh, this was great. It was this is something Hulk Hogan also made. This Knockouts Championship Challenge, where the winning knockout became the new #1 contender. We have.
Let me just say, on TNA, they call it TNA not just for total nonstop action,
but for another reason.
Yeah.
In this,
because we get longer than a 1-minute match.
Yeah. Well, we had Angelina Love, we had Tara, Madison Rayne, the return of Winter, Mickie James, and Velvet Sky. Now, I've said it time in and time out, whether it was on here or back in the old days on WGS Radio. The TNA Knockouts have the look and the talent.
Yes. In my opinion, I think Mickie James is doing a lot better in TNA than she did with WWE.
She's getting a better push in TNA. She's getting a chance to, do her gimmick. From what I've heard, she always wanted to do a country gimmick, but she always in a country album, but she did not want to do it under a contract to the WWE because WWE would pull licensing rights and whatnot because she was under contract to them. Yeah. So that's why she waited till she made the jump. But as far as this match is concerned, I kind of had a tip-off. And here's what kind of tipped me off as to who was going to win. It's Velvet Sky. Velvet Sky got the win. And what kind of tipped me off that she was going to get the win and the push was the fact that, one, she beat Madison Rayne last week. And two, the promo that she cut after the match was over, she cut a very good promo saying she was coming after Gail Kim for the title. And I immediately got the idea from there that Velvet Sky was going to get a push towards the Knockouts title. Whether they're going to put it on her or not is still yet to be known or seen. But for her to get the push...
I'm surprised it wasn't Winter since she was returning.
Well, I wouldn't think it would put it on Winter because, her making her return. I mean, she really hasn't been used in any kind of facet or form. It would make more sense to push Velvet Sky. I mean, Mickie James has already had a good push already with Gail Kim, and we all saw how that came out. Madison Rayne tried having a push with Gail Kim, and we saw where that went. I think absolutely nowhere. Tara and Angelina Love, I really haven't seen them. Well, Angelina Love returned for, I think, the first time in a while, and we really haven't seen them been used very much. But they've really been using more of Velvet Sky, so that's kind of what tipped me off to Velvet Sky not only winning, but getting the push towards the Knockouts title. Other than that, I thought it was a very entertaining match, in my opinion. love watching the knockouts. Love watching them compete. It was good to see both Winner and Angelina Love back. Haven't seen them. I want to think about 2 or 3 months maybe, because we haven't seen both of them in a while. So I'm going to go ahead and give the match a 4.5 out of 5. I thought it was that good.
Yeah, same here.
Now, Chris, you're aware of the current engagement between Eric Young and ODB, right?
I heard it through the grapevine, yeah.
And you also heard through the grapevine that they're the Knockouts Tag Team Champions, right?
That I did not know.
Yeah. It's Eric Young and ODB.
Ladies and gentlemen, it shows you how much I watch TNA.
Well, tonight was the bachelor party for Eric Young. Now, all throughout the night, we hear the commentators putting this over that there were strippers there, there were clowns there, zebras were there. So we get to the actual segment. It's 5 guys sitting at a computer. 5 different laptops.
Wow.
Apparently had something to do with, with betting on a certain guy, like fantasy baseball or something like that. I caught it midway in because I had to step out for a second. But the part where I did come in on, it's ODB walking in on the supposed bachelor party and handing cigars to the other guys, and specifically told Eric Young that there were no girls allowed at the bachelor party, and she was referencing the other guys who were at their computers at the party with Eric Young. Yeah.
Wow.
And let's just say it ended with Eric Young's face and ODB's cleavage, probably where Nick Bondage has already been.
I knew you were. I was wondering when the Nick Bondage reference was going to come up.
I want to get on to this next match. I don't know what to score Eric Young's bachelor party, so I'm not going to give it a score. Next up...
I bet he did score, though.
Oh, God. Nightmarish. Anyway, next up, we had a very great match between I want to say, probably 2 of the top faces of the company right now. And I'm talking about Cowboy James Storm and AJ Styles. 2 phenomenal main eventers. You gotta admit, at any point in time, this is a main event for a pay-per-view. At any point in time. And they delivered on a main event quality match. Montgomery Gentry was there, one of my personal favorite country duos. They were there at ringside, and we also saw them in Cowboy James Storm's music video, Long Necks and Rednecks, which was a really good video, by the way. Great match between these two. James Storm wanted a warm-up match, and of course he made the comment that if he can hit the last call super kick on AJ Styles, he can definitely hit it on Bobby Roode inside the steel cage, and that's what he did tonight. He did hit the last call super kick. It was over. Storm wins. And what I saw after the match really, really earned a lot of respect. Is AJ Styles, he got up and actually took the beer and instead of hitting him over the head, which we were used to seeing someone do with a bottle of beer, he actually handed it over to James Storm for him to drink and celebrate. And that shows how much respect Styles had for Storm. Phenomenal match. I got to go 5 out of 5. I was thoroughly entertained.
Same here. I mean, especially with what happened after the match, that shows you right there how much respect 2 guys have for one another, and how I'm pretty sure it wasn't kayfabe either. I'm pretty sure it was actual feelings for it.
Next up was the return of Chris Sabin and the Motor City Machine Guns as they took on Mexican American, or AKA the rip-off of LAX. Or the lame rip-off, as it were. Now, I'm hoping, Chris, I am praying, now that with Sabin back and the Motor City Machine Guns back together, that the TNA Tag Team Division starts stepping up again.
Yes.
Because tag team wrestling has been on a decline as of late. I mean, look what they had to do to pass the time with the TNA Tag Team titles. One, they put it on Matt Morgan and Crimson. And then they had to have like this weird kind of lottery tournament where partners were chosen at random. And now we have Magnus and Samoa Joe as tag team champions. But now we have a good set tag team back in the Motor City Machine Guns. And I will say this, Chris Sabin looked phenomenal in that ring. He looked in really great shape. Looked like he never missed a beat from that injury. And I'll tell you what, it is great to have them back. And just based on his return and his performance in the ring, Motor City Machine Guns defeating Mexican America, it's going to get a 4 out of 5 from me.
Same here.
Then this we got to comment on a little bit, Chris. It's a little confrontation happening between Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff. Now,
yes.
originally it was going to be Garrett Bischoff taking on Gunner inside the cage. And this got upgraded to a lethal lockdown match. And here's the stipulation. If Eric Bischoff's team wins, then Garrett Bischoff is taken off the roster and he can never wrestle again. However, if Garrett Bischoff's team wins, then not only has Eric Bischoff got to leave TNA, he can never use the Eric Bischoff name again. Now, I kept thinking about this, Chris. I don't know what your thoughts on it, but we've seen Eric Bischoff for years and years on TV. We all know he got his start over in Vern Gagne's AWA as an announcer, and then he got moved over to WCW, where he's the executive president. Not like Laurinaitis, but
yeah.
And then he got bumped over to WWE, where he was the general manager for the longest time, and now he's in TNA. Could we be possibly seeing Eric Bischoff finally hanging it up? Could this be the way they're?
I don't know if he does leave TNA, he might just switch back to WWE. We've seen that happen before. We've seen people go from WWE to TNA back to WWE. Christian, for example. A couple of other people. I'm wanting to say, Booker T, I believe, also did that. So I don't know. I mean, I don't think they would take Garrett Bischoff off the roster this early, because he hadn't been with TNA that long, if I'm not mistaken. So,
well, they've been. It kind of feels like maybe a couple of years, because they started that Immortal gimmick. You remember, it was at a 10-10-10.
Yeah. So about a couple of years. So, but still, I don't think they would get rid of Garrett this early. So it may turn out that Eric may finally leave the company and either retire or go back to WWE.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and give this segment. I thought it was really well done, because you got Hogan, who knows how to talk on the mic, and so does Eric, and they delivered on a bombshell of a match for Lockdown, a 4 out of 5. And now we have the main event between Mr. Anderson and Bobby Roode. You want to talk about two main eventers who know what they're doing, But then again, with Mr. Anderson, we never know. Now, the way they finished the match is Bobby Roode got the beer bottle while the referee was distracted and conked Anderson on the head. He was bleeding. He gets the 3 count. Hogan comes out, reverses the decision, and declares Anderson the winner by disqualification and pissing Bobby Roode off, which I don't think any fan in the Impact Wrestling gave a crap about.
Yeah.
Match-wise, I thought it was really good between these two. I'm going to go ahead and go 4 out of 5 on it as well. Impact Wrestling really starting to step up their game as of late, Chris, wouldn't you say?
Definitely. I mean, we're seeing more wrestling, more in-ring action than we are on WWE. So, before long, I'm pretty sure WWE is basically going to have to rename Monday Night Raw to Lace Curtains with Martha Stewart. So, I mean, that's pretty much the way they're going, basically. But, I mean, TNA right now, that's the place to be for good wrestling.
Well, what we want to know now from you, the WGS TV viewers and subscribers, your thoughts on Impact Wrestling this week. You know the 2 ways to do it. Leave your comments in the comment section below or in a video response detailing your thoughts on Impact Wrestling this week. Also, like to remind everybody, please check out Chris and the other guys out on youtube.com/OTRmedia1. If you guys look at my channel page, they're featured under the Featured Channels dialog box here.
Thank you very much for that, Billy. Always.
So be sure you check them out on there, and don't forget to also subscribe, if you haven't yet, to youtube.com/WrestleGamer, and don't forget to also favorite and like this video. So for Chris Rogers, I'm Double B Billy Bujo, saying thank you very much for watching.